When Mitchell Starc took the final wicket to ensure that the Kolkata Knight Riders got their first victory over the Mumbai Indians at the Wankhede since 2012, he let out not one but multiple roars, which signaled not really the fact that KKR's frustration at the venue aside, this was very much a redemption of sorts for Starc himself. He is the most expensive player in the history of the IPL, having clocked in a price of rupees 24.75 crores when he was picked up by KKR. But it's fair to say his form has been more miss than hit in the 2024 edition of the IPL. However, in his own words, it's not all been down to him. In fact, he admitted that even in this particular game, he didn't really change a lot about his approach. It was just about ensuring that he did the basics right, and well, the results really spoke for themselves. But he did highlight a couple of things, very interesting pointers really. For one, of course, the reason for his struggle. Second, of course, he opened up at last on that price tag. We'll go into one of the reasons, or the main reason which he highlighted as being that has led to a lot of not just his but other bowlers struggling as well. And it's a surprisingly familiar one: the impact rule. In Starc's own words, the impact player rule changes things a fair bit. When you have batters and batting all-rounders come in at numbers 8 or 9, it's a long batting lineup. Now, Starc would go on to actually extend on this point and say that, look, I'm not questioning the skills or the hitting ability of the batters, because that's also been phenomenal. But knowing full well that you've got 8, 9, sometimes 10 batters means that you're going out on the power play and you can just look to hit and clear the infield and you're getting boundaries. And it also means that when you're batting in the middle overs, there's not that much fear when it comes to losing your wicket. So you can keep playing in one gear and the runs will continue to flow. In fact, he also said that he doesn't expect the big scoring of the IPL to necessarily translate over into the T20 World Cup, primarily because there will be no impact player rule. He said that the T20 World Cup's coming up next month and there's no impact player rule over there. It will change things. Captains will have to think tactically too when you have just 11 players. In fact, he further went on to say that it's not just about the 11 players who are playing, but this is where stuff like balance of the team will really come into play, and you'll have to be more reliant on your all-rounders, players who can do a bit of both. And that's something that has largely been nullified by the IPL's impact player rule, because what it means is that you can play a specialist. Why would you be looking to fit in someone who can only bowl 2 overs? That is a thing, and I have to say I do agree with him to an extent, because again, the impact player has made things much easier for batters, tilted the game even more so. Combine that with, of course, flatter pitches and, let's say, bigger bats, good lush in outfields. You've got everything if you are a batter. However, another reason that people have pointed out Starc's struggles is, of course, the fact that he was bought for a whopping price. There's no two ways about it. It was an eye-watering sum, and that brings with it its own kind of pressures. However, that's not what Mitchell Starc himself believes. He said that, look, I didn't set my price tag, so it is what it is. I haven't really thought too much about it. And that's a fair enough statement. Again, he's right in saying that it's not that he set the price tag. In fact, his price tag, when he set it as a base price, would have been about 2 crores. The fact that it went up more than 12 times since is not something that was in his hands. It just showed how valued he was by the teams that were continually bidding for him, and all he can do at this point is perform. However, what Starc also showed is that in conditions that did favor bowlers just that little bit, he can still be lethal even without changing his own approach. And what's worse is that he's come into form at just the right time for KKR, but at the wrong time for all their rivals and potentially even all of the Indian team or other teams, because again, if he can carry over this form to the T20 World Cup, Australia are going to be a very dangerous side. But what do you think about Starc's comments? Do you agree about his critiques of the impact rule and what he said about his price tag? Well, you can let us know that in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTech app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side though, it's goodbye.